Hello and welcome. I'm Zach, and with me as always is my co-host David. What are we talking about today?
Today, we'll be discussing exoplanets and NASA's next space telescope, which will help us discover more of them.
Excellent. Let's get into it.
Over the past 30 years, astronomers have managed to discover over 5,000 exoplanets, which are planets that orbit other stars. It may surprise you to learn that the majority of these exoplanets have not been observed directly. To date, fewer than 70 exoplanets have been observed directly. The others have only been observed indirectly through means such as observing their parent star. NASA is looking to change that with their next space telescope. The Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, which will launch in 2027, will carry out a number of science tasks that will help astronomers better understand the universe. It will include a number of science instruments to help in future discoveries, including the Roman coronagraph instrument. The RCI is how the Roman telescope will help scientists to discover and directly image distant exoplanets.
The exoplanets the RCI will try to image are relatively close to their parent star. The light reflecting from the planet's surface is too dim when compared to the starlight from its parent. The RCI will use a couple of methods to try to dim the light from the star in order to capture images of the planets. First, when starlight reaches the coronagraph, it uses small circular obscurations called masks to block the light. This allows the dimmer planets to become viewable. This type of technology has already been used in space before, though the RCI will be using an additional technique to further reduce the amount of light getting through. The RCI will use two 2-inch or 5-centimeter deformable mirrors, whose shapes can be adjusted with the use of 2,000 tiny pistons. By adjusting their shapes, the mirrors can compensate for any unwanted starlight that gets around the edges of the masks.
The ultimate goal of using the RCI is to find Earth-like planets in the habitable zone of their stars. The Roman telescope will be a step on the road to being able to see these Earth-like planets. However, it won't actually be able to see them, only the larger Jupiter-like planets at first. The results of the RCI will be used to further develop technology so that we'll be able to see the Earth-like planets one day.
The Roman coronagraph instrument has already undergone testing at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. It was then shipped across country to NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. There it will be joined to the rest of the Space Telescope in preparation for its 2027 launch.
The RCI isn't the only instrument undergoing testing. The Roman telescope's Widefield instrument is undergoing final environmental testing at a BAE facility in Boulder, Colorado. The instrument has already gone through vibration and thermal testing and just needs to complete electromagnetic interference and compatibility testing before it will be sent to Goddard. The WFI will be used to detect distant infrared light from around the universe and provide high-resolution images from across wide patches of the sky. The WFI is capable of capturing a field of view at least 100 times greater than the Hubble telescope, which will increase the speed at which astronomers can survey the universe. The images the WFI will provide will help scientists in the search for exoplanets and help come to a better understanding of dark energy and dark matter, and allow for the exploration of many other questions about the cosmos.
So there you have it. NASA is working on their next space telescope and has an eye to finding more exoplanets. I know David has been particularly interested in discussing exoplanets and technology around it. So what are your thoughts on this particular project?
Yeah, so the thing to me is that this is one step on a long road, and it's gonna be a lot of further steps before we have all of the information that I'd like to see. Being able to look out in the stars and point out that we know there's a planet right over there, to me that's super exciting. That is what I've always dreamed of ever since I was little, is being able to look at the stars and think that there's a place we could go. This shows that we'll be able to eventually, hopefully someday, way in the future, make it somewhere else with planets. And this is just that next step on our road to the stars. But that's my thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I agree with what you have to say. Though I will say I was pretty surprised at the number of imaged planets so far. I knew that we had discovered 5,000, before, but I found it interesting that only about 70 have actually been viewed. It's
So few.
yeah, it's surprising. I guess I assumed that we had seen all of these planets that we were discovering. But yeah, I think the inspirational aspect that you kind of touched on with this is amazing. Finding Earth-like planets, being able to maybe tell if they can support life or if maybe life is possibly present on them already. I think that will just really help push humanity to achieve more, to go farther, which is what I'm all about. But how about you, viewers? What are your thoughts on exoplanets or space telescopes or the possibility of life out there? Let us know in the comments down below.
If you've made it this far, please like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching.